So the family of Enoch Mpianzi is suing the Gauteng Education Department for 10 million rand. Mpianzi, you'll remember, drowned while on an orientation camp at the Nyati Bush Camp in January this year. A forensic report into the incident found that there was recklessness and negligence.
Yeah, heartbreaking story, this one. MEC Panyaza Lesufi says the department has no appetite to oppose this legal bid. And this morning we're joined by Levitt, who is the attorney representing the Mpianzi family. Ian, thanks very much for your time this morning. Perhaps before we get into the details of this court bid, can you give us a sense of how the family is doing?
The family is not doing well, so that it is not something that I always get amazed at when somebody asks, are they getting some sort of closure about instituting action? There's no closure with the death of a child.
No, absolutely. And also just because of what that report did say, that there was negligence involved and that this could have been prevented, one can't imagine. But take us through now the decision to sue the department for 10 million rand. How far are we in this case?
So the decision to institute action against the department amongst 4 or 5 other defendants was taken at the time of the tragic incident, when the report started coming back that there was a plethora of negligence by many of the individuals, including the principal, the educators in Nyati, the education department itself, because there had been deaths at this in Nyati before. This has been an ongoing intention, and it continues to be so, that the family want to pursue legal action as well as criminal action. What happened in the interim is, obviously, as you know, it was COVID, and in terms of the law, you have to send a formal letter of demand to the department before you can institute the action. The department, unfortunately, or due to COVID, only picked up their letters of demand last week. They said that they've only received the letters of demand last week that were sent in February. And but now we can proceed with the issue of summonses, which should be completed within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, so the department expressed that it's actually not necessarily going to push back against this, but has the family decided to go ahead without any shadow of a doubt, or is there still room for some kind of consultation to take place before the lawsuit actually kicks into effect?
No, we're not going to wait for the department to engage us or make any offers. The legal process must run simultaneously with any other process that has to run. They will, I saw last night that one of the press spokesmen said that they will make offers in terms of previous cases that have taken place. This isn't a case. We can't compare ourselves or be lumped into the same box as anybody else that a child has died at the hands of a school. The law is developing all the time. We hope to make precedent, especially with regard to constitutional damages, and we're going to pursue it.
Yeah, heartening as well, Ian, that MEC Panyaza Lesufi saying yesterday at that press briefing that this is not something his department will oppose.
Well, you know, they knew about this when they conducted the report 5 months ago. If they really wanted to engage us, and I'm not suggesting that Mr. Lesufi didn't have anything else to do in the last 5 months, but if they wanted to engage us, they should have engaged us 5 months ago. We could have been having this discussion 5 months ago. They haven't. They've now seen a letter of demand. This has spurred them into action. That's what I'm saying to you, that legal action cannot stop whilst people are deciding whether to engage or not. It must be pursued with vigor, and they can come and talk to us at any time. We're not arrogant. They can come talk to us. We're happy to engage, but the legal process will continue.
Yeah, it is disappointing, I suppose, that as you say, there hasn't been any kind of move to get in touch with the family. Is that what you're saying? To get in touch with the family, to check on how they're doing, just to see how they are, just person to person.
You know, there have been calls to me to ask how my clients are doing. At the end of the day, I mean, you know, what are they expecting me to say, or what are they expecting the family to say, that they're okay now? I mean, it's really meaningless. Justice has to be done. Criminal charges must follow, and the civil case must continue.
Yeah, so, you've already alluded to the idea that there's absolutely no way of being able to quantify even just the pain that the family might be going through following Enoch's passing. But many will be wondering what considerations went into coming to the 10 million rand figure. Are you able to take us through the thinking to arriving to that amount?
So there has been precedent, which is previous cases that have been that have dealt with the issue of the negligent death of children. The figure of 10 million rand a figure had to be put into the summons. You have to sue for an amount in a summons. So the 10 million rand will almost likely change once forensic psychologists, psychiatrists, and experts have identified and quantified much more clearer exactly what each individual plaintiff and member of the family has suffered.
Yeah. And does this application to the court include, as you say, criminal charges against, for example, the principal and the teachers that were found to be negligent in the case, and the Nyati Bush Lodge as well?
So when you say does it include, it's a completely separate process. The summons is civil action that takes place in a civil court. The criminal charges are in criminal court, and that's against the principal, be against the educators, it will be against Nyati and anybody else who had been possibly found to be criminally negligent in the death of Enoch.
Right, thank you for your time. We certainly appreciate it. I imagine this is a story that will continue to touch on throughout the course of perhaps the year even, the plight of Enoch Mpianzi and their families. It definitely is a difficult story to try to grapple with at this time.
Yeah, I'm actually feeling, one can just relate to the family when you have this sense of heaviness just thinking back on what happened. He was a grade 8 pupil. He was starting at a new school. He was excited about his new uniform. Yeah. There was so much excitement from the family as well, and then the worst possible thing imaginable happened.
Yeah, so that was Levitt, who is the Enoch Mpianzi family lawyer.